Here's a graphing example that is going to use the slope and the y-intercept. Well, if we're going to use the slope and the y-intercept, we're going to have to make this equation into the slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. And obviously that doesn't look like y equals mx plus b. So the general rule is you want to solve for y. So if I solve for y, I'm going to have to move the x over. And as I move the x over, I want to make sure it ends up in that first position. So I'm going to make it negative x plus 12. And the only reason I want to do that is to force it to be this mx in that first position. Alright, the next thing I have to do is divide everything by negative 3. So I'll divide every single term that I see by negative 3, so I don't make any silly mistakes. Alright, and then that'll give me y equals a negative divided by negative is a positive. Now remember, there's this 1 up here, so this is really 1/3 x. And you really want to get that x kind of by itself so you can see what the whole coefficient is. And then 12 divided by negative 3 is negative 4. So in this form y equals mx plus b, remember m is the slope and b is that coordinate, the y-intercept, but it's written as 0, comma b. Alright, so here we have the slope, the change in y over change in x, is equal to 1/3. Writing m equals 1/3 really doesn't help you. This reminds you that you're moving up and down first and left and right second. The y-intercept in this case is going to be 0, comma negative 4. I like doing that so I don't ever plot on the x-axis first. 0 doesn't go left or right, it's going to move up and down. So we're going to start with 0, negative 4. We're going to go to 0, negative 4, which is 4 down from the origin, and plot a point. And then we're going to do our little slope. Change in y over change in x, we're going to go 1 up and 3 to the right. So from here we're going to go 1 up and 1, 2, 3 to the right. And we can do that several times. We can go 1 up and 1, 2, 3 to the right. If we run out of space, we can come back to our start point, the y-intercept, and reverse direction. Well, we can make both of them negative, negative 1 and negative 3. That would still be 1/3. Negative divided by negative is a positive. In this case, our change in y would be down 1, and the change in x would be to the right 3 units. We get a point here, and then again down 1 and to the right 3 units. And we've run out of graph space now, so I'm going to go ahead and draw my line. And there we have a line that goes through all the points rather nicely, and definitely through the y-intercept, and it has a slope of up 1 over 3. Now one last thing you want to check before you go on to the next graph or the next problem is you go back to your original slope and realize that your slope here was positive. And the slope of this line going uphill is also a positive slope. And that's a nice check because one of the easiest things to do is to count the wrong direction and come up with the wrong slope. So always check your value of your number slope compared to your picture slope and make sure they at least correspond.